Hello and welcome back to another Grand Cross Age of Titans video. In today's video, I am going to condense everything regarding the live stream for the Iris testing. So if we go ahead and take a look at her right now on the screen, her active skill does 800% skill damage, does 20% attack decrease from the enemies for 3 seconds, and she'll also end up healing the units up to 350%. Her second skill here, it does infantry type defense increase by 25% and skill damage taken decrease by an additional 20%. The third skill here is you get infantry health increase by 25 and counter damage increase by 15. And then her final skill here is an addition 7% chance to block a basic attack when hit. So in our tests, this skill actually went off quite a bit of time. I think it's more than 7%, but it's okay. And then finally, her awakened skill is increases heal effect by 15% for troops commanded by Iris, and additionally increases health effect by 30% when the remaining forces are at 50% or lower. So she is pretty built. So the talent tree that I created for Iris is something along these lines here. Some of these main ones I focused on the affinity damage, and then I wanted to do less damage taken. This one up here I did troop defense increase, and then down here I did another basic attack damage decrease, and then of course I unlocked both of these skills here. So if you want, you can pause the video at any time, and then you can actually see the set that I went with. So let's go ahead and get into the reports here. So let me go all the way down here. So luckily I had Gabe come in, and then oh, wait a sec. Where are we at here? So I had Gabe, Crown, Mizzy, Lord, and I believe Raylex maybe. But let's get started here. So Clown Killer is a complete free-to-play player who ended up using Jeanette and Angus versus Iris and Arthur. So I kept Iris primary for most of these, and at the end of the video I will kind of go over why that's not a good choice. But 224,000 to 150, and as you can tell, the just power was insanely different. He tried it Valkyrie and Kaya against Iris and Arthur, and it did not go very well again. 6,300 to 117. He used it again with Valkyrie and Kayla against Jeanette and Iris. I can't remember which one's primary in this or which one's secondary because it's been so long, but I want to say that Jeanette's primary over Iris. Next, I had Maisie come in with her Krishna and Destina against Iris and Arthur. I lost 56,000 to just about 33,000. I ran that again, and she absolutely crushed me again. As you can tell, her healing is almost 7 times better than mine, just because Krishna and Destina are just so overpowered in this game right now. Then, just for, why not, I had Rena and Agnes against Krishna Destina just to see, how good that March was still with tier 1s, and it killed him once again. Next, I had Lord come in. So at this point, Lord had better stats than I did, and he was in the Alliance. I had Iris and Arthur against Isaac and Rena, and I absolutely got smacked. Next, I had Mizzy throw out Arthur and Belly against Iris and Arthur, and I won at a 2-to-1 rate. Next, I had Lord send out Isaac and Agnes against my Iris and Arthur. I healed 24,000 troops and had an 82,500 left. Not the greatest, but we still came out on top even though I had 24,000 more troops. Kind of crazy. Next, I had them triple team me with archers just to see if they could withstand with Krishna, and unfortunately it did not go over very well at all. I ended up just getting completely smacked, and I definitely would not recommend just leaving Iris and Krishna out there. Next, I did Iris and Krishna against Isaac and Reno at 200,000 troops, and it was pretty close. He only had 36,500 troops left, but I still got crushed. I had Iris and Arthur again against Mizzy. I don't remember why this result changed so much. But I definitely should not have won on this one. Maybe it's because I had the extra 24,000, but she didn't heal at all. So I don't know what happened in this exchange, but Iris is still primary. I tried it with an Iris and Erdal, and Mizzy just absolutely wrecked me. At this point, my Erdal was not awakened, although she is now. I did an Iris Erdal against an Isaac Rena, and then I also got smacked again with Lord having 69,000 troops remaining. Just so you know, all this is with tier 1. Next, if we go through this, Iris Arthur versus Sekhmet and Rena. We also know that this is another decent march in there, depending on who you have open with cavalry. And even though I healed almost 14,000 troops, he still came out on top with 7,500, even though that was a lot closer of a battle. Still. Another Isaac and Rena versus Roxana and Iris. Roxana being primary, and he beat me almost a 2-1. For whatever reason, we wanted to throw Canis in there with Iris against Sekhmet and Agnes, and he didn't beat me 2-1, but it was still 42,000 against 0. Next, Iris and Helga against Isaac and Agnes. He only ended up having 11,000 left. So not a terrible march compared to everything else, but he has Agnes behind his Isaac instead of Rena. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Iris and Helga against Isaac and Rena. And at this point, he almost beat me at a 2-1 with him with 88,000 troops remaining. Next, I had Thoth come in and give me some help, just because he had a little bit different of stuff. And so I had an Iris and Arthur against his Isaac and Rena, and I ended up beating him on this one. And this is when we pretty much switched it. So I ended up throwing Jeanette in front of Iris, just because we know Jeanette is the best unique that we can get in the game, and we ended up healing 30,000 troops with 70,000 remaining, and we beat an Isaac Rena. Next, we ran another Jeanette and Iris against his Isaac and Rena again, and he only had 103,000 left. So the biggest thing that I'm thinking from this is how often her healing is coming out, along with how much she is actually blocking, because we healed pretty much the same amount. So my guess is that Isaac and Rena had their skills pop off and not get blocked a lot more than, you know, what we imagined or what we initially thought. Next, Lord threw out a Jeanette and Agnes. I don't know why, but I threw out Jeanette and Iris, and we beat them 2-1, even with healing 14,000. So, what kind of pairings would I recommend with Iris? So let's take a look at this, right? So this time I'm going to kind of talk about it a little bit differently, considering the fact that this isn't just going to be open field. So personally, one of my pairings right now is, let me pull these guys up and go by rarity, is going with Jeanette as a primary and then Iris as a secondary. So you always want to throw out infantry, especially on this case because Iris is infantry. If I was going to do, you know, like Jeanette and then maybe Agnes behind her, I would want to do cavalry, but in that case it'd be different. So Jeanette is definitely a very, very, very good choice. So I'm still in the massive habit of doing left to right on my skills because I'm so used to a game like Rise of Kingdoms where it's kind of randomized and you just want to work the first skill over. Instead, I should be doing this skill here, his Excalibur, instead of the third skill here, which is Leader of the Round Table. and there's no way for me to reset that. And then as always, his awakened skill is absolutely amazing. So I would definitely throw Arthur out there as a primary if he has 5515, or Jeanette if Arthur is not at that status. So that is, I think, the two current best pairings for Iris, and make sure that she is secondary. Um, Claudia would be another one to kind of be okay with, but then again, she has the Titan skill and she has the Hunt tree, so Arthur is definitely the better choice if you're working him. I guess you could kind of do Belly, but we haven't tested it because we're just getting the Belly Grand Summon, so we don't really know because no one, I think, in our server has Belly awakened yet. But I will test that, and maybe I'll make a short with testing Belly and Iris together. So now that we got that out of the way, I don't know if you ended up looking at part of the smaller, a different part of the video yesterday. But if I go into here, I have a Jeanette and Iris in here. And so Jeanette is also very, very, very good at defending the actual buildings themselves, not specifically your city, because she is only infantry, where, you know, someone like Erdell is everything. So I saw throughout the battles, I saw something like an Erdell and Iris for infantry. I'm trying to think who else I saw. I believe I saw Iris primary with maybe a Helga secondary. But I guess it all kind of depends on what you're doing with her, and you know, we really need a lot more testing because, as you saw through everything here, you know, all the defense information is pretty much coming from the battle between 11 and 17 and just what I saw. So could that be an awesome defense? Sure. Could it be absolutely? It's not going to be horrible, right? Iris is, you know, a defense portion of the hero, so she has that specific stuff here. So, I mean, even though I know that it says battling out in the world, but her primary skill is horrible. Or her use as a primary is really bad. So I would definitely recommend her as a secondary to either Arthur or Jeanette, possibly Belly. We don't know, but from what I've seen, Belly pairs really well with Loons, and so that means he would have to go into a different pairing. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe some of the unique commanders would be okay with her. You know, maybe Krishna, or maybe even a Destina. I know both of them have a healing skill that would probably pop off very, very well. Where is it? It's not. Is it Krishna? Krishna has the barrier. Oh, there we go. So heals lightly wounded. So we didn't test any of them because we really haven't had to. But so overall, Iris, she's okay. You know, she's not as crazy as I thought that she would be with, you know, as Rena is, but still a very nice commander to have. I would probably leave it more to the whales who, you know, really want to spend, because as you know, with that Iris event, it is very costly and very expensive. I went through almost 700 days worth of speed ups, and you guys are able to watch that live. Also, if you got to this part of the video, thank you very much. I believe by the time that this video launches tonight, I will have the Discord link down below in the description that you are more than welcome to come and join. I'm still, I don't want to say like it's beta, but really I'm just trying to build it when I have time, and I will always try to improve it. I have some of the bots in there going, and if you enjoy the video, please like, consider subscribing, and put all your comments down below. You know, maybe you tested something different and it worked better, or you know, maybe you don't agree with putting Jeanette in primary. But as always, I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.